So this is the LT Spice for my project 3. So this side is the receiver circuit, and this side is the transmitting circuit. So let's look into the receiver circuit. So the receiver circuit has a photocell that goes into a capacitor to cancel out any DC voltages, and then it goes through an amplifier and with a potentiometer. The amplifier feeds into 5 buffer op amps in parallel to make the sound more clear, and then it feeds into the speaker. All the op amps have supplies of negative 4.5 and 4.5 volts. Moving for my receiving circuit, I used a solar cell. The solar cell is connected to the ground here, and then this is the signal for the solar cell, which goes into the capacitor. The capacitor then forms a high-pass filter through this resistor and then feeds into the positive rail of the amplifying op-amp. The op-amp is then also connected is a feedback resistor, which is a potentiometer, and also this another small resistor for the amplification. The output connects to the positive rails of these 5 op amps. So this column is the connects all the positive rails of the 5 op amps. The 5 op amps are buffers because there's no resistance between their negative and output rails. All the outputs of the op amps are connected to this column, and then this column is connected to the speaker, and the speaker is connected to ground on the other side. On to the transmitting circuit, we have two voltage inputs. One is the aux and one is the mic. The aux input first goes in through a capacitor and then the potentiometer. Then it feeds into an amplifier and goes into another capacitor to take out any DC offset, and then it goes into a summing amplifier. The mic has a resistor goes through the capacitor to take out any DC voltages, goes through an amplifier and then into a summing amplifier. Summing amplifier is here. It also has a potentiometer. This potentiometer controls the volume. Then it goes into a bias T, and then here is also a laser. The laser is connected to this resistor on one end and the negative voltage on the other, and the bias T has the inductor connected to the positive voltage. So here's the mic which is connected to this resistor. The mic signal goes through this capacitor, and then this capacitor feeds into this amplifying op amp. This capacitor is also connected on the same rail as this 10K resistor, and this amplifying op amp has this potentiometer connected with the negative rail and the output, and this 100 ohm resistor connected to the negative rail. The output goes into a summing amplifier. This green and yellow wire is my aux, so this green is connected to the ground, and this is the aux input. The aux goes into a capacitor, which goes into this potentiometer and which feeds in to the negative rail of this op amp. Then this is a 10K resistor into the negative rail, and between the negative input and the output there is this potentiometer. The output of this amplifying op amp feeds into this capacitor. When testing my breadboard, I found that my aux was outputting the DC offset, so this takes care of that. That goes into a summing amplifier. The summing op amp of the both resistors summing amp feed into this negative rail, and then there is also another potentiometer right here which controls the overall volume which will go through this laser. The the output of the op-amp goes into this capacitor, which is connected to the laser. At the same rail of the capacitor, there's this resistor, and which goes through to the inductor.